how another woman helped crack the case. And Dr. Breen's on call with a new device that promises to make morning sickness go away for good.
This is News 2 Chicago.
We're going to show you the faces of people without a home. The first night in America for more than 400 Kosovar refugees. Chased by war, they are here to restart their lives.
And some Chicagoans want to help. Mike Parker found a family that's getting ready to open its heart and its home. Mike.
Lester, a North Side woman, is praying the next airlift of refugees brings her sister and her sister's 4 children out of the Balkans to freedom in the United States. Ria Ismaile of Chicago was watching as the first Kosovo refugees arrived by jet at a New Jersey airbase to be greeted by the First Lady of the United States. Ria hopes that soon her sister Emina and Emina's 4 young children can come here too. They fled Kosovo into Macedonia 3 weeks ago.
Everybody was so frightened, you know, because they started forcing people out of the homes. In the last minute, you'll never know if you'll be killed or, you know, other things are taken away from you.
A church-run social service agency in Uptown is promising to help Ria's sister and any other Kosovars who come to Chicago.
We are on what we call red alert at the moment to get calls. As soon as they get the processing done in Fort Dix, then families are going to be ready to come. They want to move them as quickly as possible.
The Interchurch Refugee Ministries Agency has already helped settle some 3,000 Bosnians in Chicago and is ready to do the same for the refugees from Kosovo. They're pledging to help them work, to learn English, and to help them find places to live.
We're going to help people at their moment of need, and tragedy struck them in their lives, and we need to walk with them through this period, but they won't walk alone. We'll be with them.
A total of 20,000 refugees are expected to come to the United States. After processing, most will be assigned sponsor families and will go to live in cities like Chicago and New York, places with sizable Albanian populations. Lester and Linda.
And how quickly are they moving to bring the rest of these refugees?
The plan, Lester, is to move very swiftly. 500 more refugees due to arrive this weekend, and before long, they hope to be airlifting 2,000 people every week out of those camps.
All right, Mike. A Wisconsin man was one of 2 crewmen killed in yesterday's crash of an Apache helicopter over Albania. Chief Warrant Officers Kevin Reichert of Sawtech, Wisconsin, and David Gibbs of Ohio died when the Apache crashed during a training mission. The president honored them today and then met with 3 American POWs recently released by the Serbs. Wearing his bomber jacket, Clinton saluted the men and women in uniform at Ramstein Air Force Base. They're Americans taking part in the Yugoslav operation and in humanitarian relief efforts. Here in Chicago, members of a Southside congregation sang hymns of joy tonight as they welcomed home Reverend James Meeks. He was part of that delegation that won the release of the American POWs from captivity in Yugoslavia.
An angry Chicago man claims he was beaten by a police officer in a case of mistaken identity. The Police Office of Professional Standards is investigating 33-year-old Cottrell Williams' allegations. Williams says early Tuesday, 2 officers looking for a gunman stopped him on the street and struck him with a baton.
I felt the blow to the head, and I felt another blow, and I felt another blow, and I was going down. As I was going down, the baton skipped the back of my head, and I hit the ground. He said, "Where's the gun?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about, sir." He said, "You're a damn liar." He took his feet and stomped the back of my head, and my face went into the concrete.
Williams says he ran away and hid after one of the officers fell down. Some tense moments for 2 Chicago firefighters on the roof of this burning building in the 7100 block of South Jeffrey Boulevard. For a few minutes, their route of retreat was cut off by flames. But fellow firefighters were able to finally rescue them. The building was partially occupied at the time. No word of any residents being hurt.
Flights are still messed up at this hour at Chicago's major airports tonight, mainly due to bad weather in the south. But weather was only part of the problem earlier today when air travel slowed to a crawl. Take a look at these lines of planes waiting to take off at O'Hare. A computer software glitch at the FAA's Elgin radar facility is being blamed for delays of up to 2 hours this morning at both O'Hare and Midway. Air traffic controllers lost the ability to identify flight numbers and other important data on their radar screens. They did not lose the radar itself or radio communications.
Steve, it is muggy out there. We're seeing some severe weather moving in.
Bad weather is finally moving toward Chicago, and the storm watch is out for places from DeKalb down through LaSalle counties, and it's until 10:20 p.m. That's what those flashing yellow counties represent. Chicago itself is not under any kind of warning, but the warning is because of some big storms that contain a lot of dangerous lightning and even some golf ball-sized hail reported near Starved Rock. And you can see the line that's from all the way up in McHenry now, where the showers have entered, and straight through a diagonal line that includes DeKalb County. So the storms are here, south side of Chicago as well. It's got some rain. What does that mean when you wake up? Thunderstorms and scattered showers, so it could be a stormy night overnight tonight, and even including tomorrow morning's rush hour. I'll be back to report any other changes and watches and warnings in about 10 minutes from now.
See you then. Thanks, Steve. There really hasn't been anything much to celebrate at the United Center this year until tonight.
In medicine tonight, Dr. Breen may have the answer to morning sickness. And
oh my God, it's $16 to get up.
yes, it can be done. How to get those cool designer clothes without paying those designer prices. That's 1 minute away.
For more than 20 years, she's brought you some of Chicago's most memorable stories. Thursday at 10 on News 2 Chicago, a look into the Marine Files.
Did you know that legal records for Cook County are kept all the way back to the Great Chicago Fire? Stack after stack, shelf after shelf. Where are they? Inside this vault. Join us for an unusual journey into history.
The Marine Files.
For the record.
Thursday at 10 on News 2 Chicago. Take another look.
Mrs. Waddell rocks.
Kathy Waddell came to Evanston Hospital facing an uphill battle against breast cancer, but she had three things on her side.
I believe in hope and prayer, and I found doctors who do too.
She's very special.
Kathy chose the doctors of Evanston Northwestern Healthcare, doctors on faculty at Northwestern University. It's your choice. Choose wisely. Evanston Northwestern Healthcare.
She's a babe.
You're watching News 2 Chicago with Lester Holt, Linda McLennan, Steve Baskerville, and Tim Weigel, named by the Associated Press as Chicago's best newscast.
Would you like to dress like your favorite movie star but figured you couldn't afford those outfits?
Catherine Bliss is here now with tips on finding bargains just in time for proms or weddings, or to simply make over your warm weather wardrobe.
Sounds like a good idea, Linda, Lester. Well, who wouldn't want to wear the same fabulous outfit seen on celebrities or in fashion magazines? Think it's out of your price range? Well, finding designer duds at bargain prices is easier than you think. Just watch. The Academy Awards, Hollywood's night to dazzle us with designer dresses.
This is my version of what Gwyneth wore to the Oscars.
But to this New York designer, the Oscars is about one thing: award-winning knockoffs you can buy at a fraction of the cost. Meet Victor Costa.
Fashion at a wonderful price is what I'm all about.
Here's Gwyneth Paltrow's gorgeous gown designed by Ralph Lauren. Now here's Victor's version. The only noticeable difference, the price tag. The Gwyneth original, $4,000. The Costa copy, just $350. Now take a look at Jennifer Lopez's black beaded Badgley Mishka. Original price tag, $5,000. Victor's knockoff, $500.
And I want to be able to wear it again. That's okay.
Jenny Bordas would love an Oscar gown. She has designer desires, but a very basic budget as a third-grade school teacher, soon to be married. And that's where Molly McKiernan comes in. She's a former personal shopper who's going to help Jenny find more for less.
I mean, everybody's wearing linen. I mean, you could tell right here in Barney's.
They started on Chicago's Oak Street. Stores like Barney's and Armani display the latest trends, so do fashion magazines such as Vogue.
Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's very cute.
Once they saw what they liked, it was time to shop.
Of course, on a teacher's salary, it's tough for Jenny to afford a lot of those designer labels you find on Oak Street, unless that is they're really, really on sale. But there is a way to find those trendy fashions at a bargain price right around the corner on the Mag Mile.
First stop, Filene's basement. And in just minutes, we found a pair of pants just like those Jenny spotted in Vogue.
$390.
$390.
And we've got them here for $39.99. Which would you rather spend?
Yeah, exactly. So
Minutes later, another fabulous find.
here's Barney's, New York. Here's the dress from Barney's.
And it's down to $49.
It's starting at $185.
Down to $49.
Yeah.
Off-price retailers such as Filene's Basement carry designer fashions. Why are the prices so low? Well, because the stores buy in volume. They may not carry the exact color or size you need, but you can find a bargain if you hunt for it.
Yeah, you'll need a little extra time to run through the racks.
Just to prove how easy it is, Molly and Jenny stopped at TJ Maxx on State Street. Here are a few steals they found in just 15 minutes. First, shoes.
It's the exact sandal we saw.
Yeah.
In Armani.
Very similar to
Very
the same
similar.
look.
So we
$60 versus $300.
And designer dresses.
Normally it's $398. Here it's $99.99, and that's all silk.
Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. The Tahari, beautiful.
We saw a lot of other things we weren't looking for that were still in our price range.
Is it going to change the way you shop?
I hope so.
So how much did Jenny save on the clothes she bought? More than $500. Not bad, guys.
Not bad at all. Now, what about that gown like Gwyneth Paltrow wore?
Well, the good news is they do actually arrive in Chicago. In fact, they should be at Neiman Marcus and Saks Fifth Avenue by the end of the month, so start your shopping engines now.
Yours is already revved up.
Well, boy, I'm exhausted. Those girls were power shoppers. I'd like to have a personal Molly to take around with me. Yeah.
Catherine. It's a piece of jewelry that can stop motion and morning sickness.
Also ahead, it's a $180,000 parking spot. Why neighbors say it's got to go. And at this high school, you better leave your backpack at home.
And a day at the amusement park for 5 cents. Why some say it wasn't worth it.
This portion of News 2 Chicago is brought to you by your local Jeep dealer.
It's the Jeep Spring event, and great deals on your favorite Jeep vehicles are showing up wherever you look. Like a low $359 a month lease rate on the rugged Go Anywhere Grand Cherokee Laredo. Now with more power, more safety, more capability, and more luxury than ever before. The landscape will never be the same during the Jeep Spring event, the event that's getting everyone to sit up and take notice. Check it out at your Jeep dealer.
There's no one reason to go to Benihana, only countless reasons. To Sandy, Craig, and Patrick, who worked a 60-hour week, a well-deserved business lunch. For David and Beverly, who finished their living room, a show of seasonings. And for Ted, with his game-winning shot, super flying shrimp. For a Sunday family meal, there's always a reason to go to Benihana.
The Stanley Cup was supposed to be here 3 days ago. You hear that? That's 20,000 screaming people that are going to tear me apart. They tear! Thank you very much. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Stanley Cup! Stanley Cup!
Got an important package? Next time, send it FedEx and be absolutely sure.
You're watching News 2 Chicago.
Billions of dollars for the city in his sights. Mayor Daley made a rare visit to Springfield today. He's pitching legislators for Governor Ryan's public works package and its benefits for Chicago's schools, roads, and transit. Our political editor Mike Flannery is in Springfield. Mike, the mayor brought with him a little taste of Chicago.
Well, literally he did that, Linda. You know, not only did Rich Daley join several suburban mayors in going all through this Capitol building, meeting with the legislative leaders of each house, but he also this evening, as though to celebrate his good fortune with this package, tossed a big bash, a very well-timed VIP preview of the Taste of Chicago. As Springfield veteran Rich Daley knows, it's a surefire way to win friends here in the state capitol. Throw a big party with lots of food, lots of drink, and lots of music. And what timing, as legislators who wined and dined here must vote in the next 2.5 weeks on Governor Ryan's $12 billion public works project. Although it would deliver big bucks to Chicago, some city residents are registering their opposition to a doubling of license plate fees that would pay for it.
So far, they're running 20 against and 0 for in terms of license plate fee increase, which means that I think we've got to look at a better mix of revenue sources for this plan.
My best guess is there'll be some adjustment, yes.
After having campaigned on a no new taxes platform, the Republican governor is taking heat But his pal, the Democratic mayor, has only praise.
Governor has the courage with that committee to present a strong package that includes everyone.
Changed my mind. I had the political courage to change my mind on that particular issue. We talked about a tax on TV reporters, but
the governor was having a little fun with me there, but he acknowledged that even if he took everything every TV reporter in the state has, it wouldn't come close to the $400 million generated by that license plate fee increase. Reporting live, Mike Flannery, News 2 Chicago. Back to you, Linda.
All right, from Springfield. Thanks, Mike.
There could be 100 people missing following those deadly tornadoes in Oklahoma and Kansas. A master list of those still unaccounted for should be available tomorrow morning. This morning, police let residents return to the hardest hit areas. Emotionally drained survivors looking for valuables and mementos. Damage in and around Oklahoma City is now reaching into the hundreds of millions of dollars. For 5 days, a Massachusetts mother has no idea where her kidnapped baby is. Police arrest the kidnappers almost immediately, but the 4-month-old is nowhere to be found. Today, the relieved mother and child are finally reunited. Turns out the kidnapping was set up by the baby's father, and the child was driven to Florida. The infant's grandmother didn't feel right about the whole thing and turned the baby over to police.
For many students, a book bag is as necessary as a pencil and paper for school, but students in one Connecticut town carry or drag all their belongings around in clear plastic bags. Book bags are banned. Lockers are locked up, all because of a recent bomb threat. It sounded like a good idea at the time, but when Knott's Berry Farm in California reduced the price of admission to 5 cents in honor of the Cinco de Mayo holiday, there was chaos. So many people showed up, fist fights broke out, and 250 police officers had to be called in to break up the crowds.
In medicine tonight, a way to get rid of morning sickness without drugs.
Wearing a special band on your wrist may sound crazy, but researchers say it really does work. Dr. Michael Breen's here. How does it work?
Well, Linda Lester, it emits a electrical current, a light electrical current against your wrist, and that is the key. The device is called a relief band. It's a safe treatment for morning sickness for both you and your unborn baby. This is Deborah Long's second time around, so she thought there wouldn't be much morning sickness. She was wrong. And because she's pregnant, she didn't want to take medication.
I'm very reluctant to take medication to begin with anyways, especially when pregnant.
But now, instead of medication, women with morning sickness can use this wristband. It's worn under your wrist and relieves any nausea or vomiting.
After work, I can go out with my girlfriends and not have to worry that I'll walk into a restaurant and feel nauseated from the aroma of the food.
The device has just been released, but it's been undergoing testing for years at several medical centers.
With a number of pregnant women having nausea and vomiting, the relief band device seems to work.
If you're a young mother, you may wonder, how can such a device possibly work? Well, no one is quite sure, but one theory is it involves the electrical stimulation of the muscles of your arm.
These override the waves of muscle contraction from the stomach that contribute to nausea.
The device also helps if you get nauseous from this. Or if you get nauseous from long car rides, and it relieves the nausea of chemotherapy. In fact, millions of sufferers may be helped by this simple, drug-free treatment. The device is just now being made available to obstetricians. They can give it by prescription, but another device specifically for motion sickness, you'll be able to get that soon without a prescription at local drugstores. So it's just fascinating.
There's no concern that having the electrical impulses go through your body when you're pregnant is any good.
I mean, there has, you know, your whole body is a field of electrical impulses, Linda Lester. That's what moves all your muscles. That is what our bodies are. These are very light impulses. They have not been shown to have any side effects. And I think it's most fascinating because nobody really knows how it works.
Notice you wait till 9 months in to tell you about
thanks,
it.
Doc.
I know. I'm sorry. It's too late for you, Linda.
It's all right, though.
You're over the worst.
I hope. Now the story of a Barrington High School student whose parents bought him an entire house near the school just so he and his friends could park their cars there. The parents of Shrinu Yeshwant bought him a $180,000 home next to Barrington High because parking is very tight in that area. But some neighbors are upset, saying it amounts to a business in a residential area.
It's arrogant, and it's quite honestly beyond disruptive. It's actually thumbing their noses in our faces.
I don't think we've been rude at all. I mean, we just park here. I mean, after school, we just, get out nicely,
None of Shrinu's friends are paying for the parking spots. Neighbors have actually taken their complaint to the city's zoning board.
Steve Baskerville's been tracking some pretty nasty stuff on the radar tonight. What does it look like now?
Well, we still have the big storms, but the warnings have expired and have not caused a threat to any parts of the Chicago area from this point on. But it is going to be rainy for you overnight tonight. We get you started. The rain has not arrived in the city yet. It is still quite muggy. The temperatures right now are like the highs ought to be normally in the afternoon. So it's been warm all day long. 65 at the lakefront, 74 at Midway, and 72 at O'Hare. Winds have been out of the south. That's the reason why it has stayed so summer-like with that south wind blowing constantly. Barometer is falling now. Humidity is up at 71%. Close to 80 degrees officially out at O'Hare. It was 78 and 62 was a morning low. Sunrise, you'll have some rain and thunderstorms in the area. Let's hope that by mid-afternoon and sunset, the rain threat is over. But the big storms now, the biggest, seem to be in DeKalb County. Rain is sliding all the way up through McHenry, right in the middle of that county. It has been raining on Will County and the south side of Chicago. So if you live on the south side or if you're traveling in that direction, you'll run into some thunder and lightning, and the same thing near Gary and Hammond and places in northwest Indiana. That's one part of the story. The other side is that we missed out on the worst of the weather because Marion County, shortly after 6 o'clock, had a tornado sighted there and some injuries reported while we had some sunny skies up here in Chicago. It was like summer on one side of the front where it was rainy and all the action was. Brownsville was 102 degrees and that set a record today. And you know anybody who lives up in Maine near Caribou? It was like summer up there. It's typically cool this time of year. So as we wrap this up and move on, let's tell you the rest of this story. Southeast winds will keep it mild through the night, but the thunder might keep you awake at times, and the same thing might wake you up early tomorrow morning, earlier than the alarm clock with those spotty thunderstorms, especially in the morning hours. Highs will still be near 70 degrees, and we'll say that's the story straight through the 5-day, highlighting Mother's Day one more time. We think the rain threat is over by then. Maybe some showers here and there on Saturday, but Mother's Day looks fine.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Tim Weigel's next with sports. Tim.
Man, I got to go to Caribou, Maine to play golf. But I got great sports. Phil Jackson gets his ring and a banner. The Bulls bring down the curtain on their worst season ever, and the Cubs get tagged as the Rockies do something no team has done in 35 years of baseball. We'll tell you all about it next.
This portion of News 2 Chicago is brought to you by Nortel Networks.
Today, Nortel Networks is changing the way businesses communicate.
Here come old Flat Top. He come grooving up slowly. You got Juju Eyeball. He's saying, I know you. You know me. One thing I can tell you is you've got to be free. Come together.
Bringing it all together with the true power of the internet.
Come together.
Nortel Networks.
Right now.
How the world shares ideas.
Over me.
The course of true love never did run smooth.
Love makes fools of us all.
Use me as you use your dog.
And these fools are no exception.
Oh, spite.
Rupert Everett, Callista Flockhart, Kevin Kline, Michelle Pfeiffer, Stanley Tucci in William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Thou art as wise as thou art beautiful.
Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 14th, only in theaters.
This is my neighborhood. We found everything we want for ourselves and our children here. Schools, parks, good jobs, good neighbors. Working together, building our community.
Chris Worth, animator, knows good, knows evil, knows that getting a deal on a Chevy S10 is good.
Get a smart lease on a new 99 Chevy S10 two-wheel drive regular cab. Call 1-800-950-CHEV for important lease details.
Chevy S10, like a rock.
In the morning, Illinois Lieutenant Governor Corinne Wood will be here to talk about a very special Mother's Day event. Plus, another viewer becomes our celebrity chef from 5:30 to 8.
You're watching News 2 Chicago.
As the saying goes, stick a fork in them, Bulls are done.
Well, Lester, about 30 years ago, Dean Wessels designed the Bulls logo, and he gave it away to Bulls management. He has designed a new Bulls logo in recognition of this season, and there it is. It's been a crying shame. Tonight, no exception, exclusively on News 2 Chicago, the new Bulls logo. Howard Sudbury, tears in everybody's eyes tonight, even on Phil Jackson night, my friend.
That kind of says it all, doesn't it, Tim? It was Phil Jackson's night on what Mayor Daley proclaimed as Phil Jackson Appreciation Day in Chicago. And Phil had several former players and former coaches, and his former teammate from the Knicks, Bill Bradley, the presidential candidate here, of course, along with his family. And when Johnny Red Kerr introduced Phil, and Phil stepped out of the darkness, the crowd gave him a huge ovation, and they booed when he thanked the juries during the ceremony. Phil was given a replica of the banner that was unveiled in the rafters above, right next to Michael Jordan's. It has Phil's the dates that he coached, 1989 to 1998, and his record of 545 and 193. And Phil had a message for Bulls fans.
I want to encourage you all to remain Bulls basketball fans. This team has become the heart of the city, and because of that, it's unified this city.
Tex Winter spoke on Phil's behalf, and he had the line of the night, Tim. He said, "I've been looking forward to this night all year long, and it's about all that I've been looking forward to." That kind of says it all, which leads us right to the highlights now.
Well, you're right. There weren't many, Howard. Officially now the worst season in Bulls history. Tonight's 37th loss of the season, pretty much like the other 36. Bulls actually played a little better than normal, but Phil's buddy, Bill Bradley, still had trouble staying awake. Bulls finished with the third worst record in the NBA, behind only Vancouver and the Clippers. Ron Harper's blown dunk pretty much says it all. Hart may or may not be back next year, but whoever is back can't be any worse. The Magic win going away. Throw this season and the rest of the garbage. It's all over. Bulls lose 103-83. Cubs lost today too, but man, they did it in style. First of all, Sammy Sosa connecting with his 6th homer of the season. That's a heat-seeking missile, actually giving the Cubs an early lead, but a combination of shoddy Cub defense and robust Rocky hitting meant Colorado did something no team has done in 35 years. They scored in every single inning of a 9-inning game. Now, the Cubs had a chance to stop the streak in the 9th, but Mark Grace committed the error that opened the door to history. Only the 7th time ever a team scored in every one of 9 innings. Final 13-6 Colorado. And it was a brutal game. Sox in Baltimore tonight. Jamie Navarro retired the first 12 Orioles in a row, and then he laid a real egg. The Birds got 7 runs in the 5th inning. 3-run triple here by Brady Anderson. Sox get smoked 8-0. They have now lost 2 in a row in Baltimore, and believe me, that's for the Birds. This isn't. Finally on the Wiener Watch. To last night's Giant game in Pittsburgh. Man on the center field camera. Disaster is about to strike. Even though he's looking through the lens, he doesn't see it coming. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a real dinger, a ring dinger, but even though doubled over in pain for a moment, no harm done. His eyes may have been watering, but he never lost focus. And that is a trooper. That is a true professional.
He thought he was just watching TV. Look at that ball on TV.
Boing.
Thanks, Tim.
Hitting the lottery jackpot twice in the same drawing. Talk about luck. We'll explain.
First, here are tonight's lottery numbers.
Real-time closed captioning on CBS 2 Chicago is made possible by Jiffy Lube, Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana's favorite oil change, now in most Sears Auto Centers.
The Texas corporation SBC wants to take over Ameritech, our local phone company. SBC could pocket as much as $1.2 billion in savings, yet they won't share any of those savings with Illinois consumers. We'll get nothing, not 1 red cent. The Chicago Sun-Times reported Ameritech share savings? No way. Call toll-free 888-801-3247 to find out how you can help stop the Texas takeover before they take all our money back to Texas.
It's spring. What better way to see Chicago bloom than from the seat of your brand new Chrysler Sebring convertible? The open road is waiting for America's best-selling convertible. Powerful multi-valve V6, 6-way power driver's seat, and with a double seal top, consider this open season for the open road every day of the year. The stars of Chicagoland, your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer, want you to survive the drive and buckle up. Drive safely and in style with Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
Today, if you're competing globally, choosing the right business partner isn't just important. It can be a matter of survival. And that's why you need a partner like American Airlines. With daily nonstops to Tokyo, New York, and London, and more nonstops from O'Hare to Europe than any other airline, American is there to help you open every door and close every deal. Because while American means business in Chicago, so do you.
At Holiday Inn this summer, kids stay free.
Pay attention here.
Kids eat every meal free. Kids get free toys and more.
Did you hear that? I'm your kid. I'm paying to live here. And I don't get any of that stuff.
Did you want a toy, sweetheart?
What's this look like? A Holiday Inn?
No one has a deal for kids this summer like today's Holiday Inn.
Prices all over the store. Just look for Smiley to save even more. Walmart. Move them out. Roll back. Always low prices. Yeah. Always.
Most people go a lifetime without winning the lottery, but a woman in California has actually hit the lotto jackpot twice in the same drawing. Laura Hazel of San Jose bought one lotto ticket. She forgot about it. Then she went and bought a second ticket with those same numbers. Turns out those numbers were the winning numbers. Now she has to split the $23 million jackpot with herself. It's the first time in lotto history that one person has bought two winning tickets for one drawing.
You know, you want to be happy for her. But you just can't. You just can't. I'm sorry.
Did she, by the way, did she leave her phone number? That's the number I want. Let me call
she
her.
left it twice, as a matter of fact. That's how reported 10. Join Marianne and Jay at 5:30.
Letterman's next tonight.
Cats should not eat ice cream. My sister is too little to know this, so I taught her. I took her to PetSmart. Ken, the PetSmart guide, said they need vitamins and a healthy eating plan. It's not mean not to give your cat ice cream. It's tough love. See, this is not just a store. PetSmart. It's a way to be.
Doris Ivy wondered if she'd live another day, if she'd sing with her choir again. Then an organ donor saved her life.
We created the most successful organ donor program in the nation, but we must do better.
As Secretary of State, it's now my job to help more people receive the gift of life. I know the organ donor program works. My sister is living proof. Sign your license and tell your family so more lives can go on.
She's so lucky. I wish I had one. It's not fair.
Remember, there will be a pep rally.
Cherry.
One of the best things about growing up is going to Baker Square, because at Baker Square you can have a delicious meal and pie. Glorious Baker Square pie, anytime you want. And that is a wonderful thing. Baker Square, great food and unbelievable pie.
The new Premium Cup collection, only from Maxwell House.
She was ripe and luscious. He was rich and pure vanilla. When they met, it was a la mode. Breyer's yogurt a la mode. Fruit on the bottom, vanilla yogurt on top.
rents Jaguars and other diversions. Budget, get out of the ordinary. Get a free Odyssey putter after just 4 rentals with Perfect Drive.
Carol Marine, only on News 2 Chicago.
The address is CBS. Welcome home.
From New York, carved over millions of years by the Colorado River, it's The Late Show with David Letterman. Tonight, the Reverend Jesse Jackson, bass fishing champion Denny Brower, and singer Kelly Willis. Plus, Paul Schaefer and the Sea